Hello, everyone. Can anyone hear me or see me? The sound will be a little different as we're using a webcam for the mic, so it might be a little thin candy, but at the same time, it should not have too much wind in the background or fan or whatever. Um, let Can anyone confirm if they can see me and or hear me? Actually, confirm both separately would be great. I understand. I may have lost some of you because, well, I took too long. I was nice. Thank you very much, Jim. I was cleaning the track for this little thing. This is a project that was very dear to me. This was a project I sunk a lot of hours. Uh, yes, perfect. So this project was a project I sunk a lot of hours, a project that was very dear to me. It was a project that I put a lot of that I rushed actually due to time constraint because it was for an expo, a display I was doing to try to start a model railroading club, which was mostly successful. I mean, we don't actually have a club, but I did gain some contacts, and I I've actually brought this layout to another display. This is my show layout. It's just an example. And as you can probably see, there's some empty areas that's pretty naked. The idea here will be that we will be fixing that for simply to fill up the layout. I thought it would be nice to have a full layout when it's home. Those decoration we will put will not be glued on because if I do have another show that I'm uh, overall size, that would be a 2 feet by 4 feet layout. The perk event scale, you can fit a pretty good layout on a small 2 feet by 4 feet board. So yeah, this will be decorated, but will not stay decorated because when I move it for shows, I take off all the details and put them back on. I will be taking one of the webcams up later and show in more detail the actual layout. I will put an engine on it right now just to run. I just cleaned the track before the layout the stream started. That's why I was 2 minutes late. And I did bring out a few trains, but turns out tonight will be a Kato exclusive engine club. Uh, let's see how well do you guys see everything. So, yep, the cleaning seems to have worked because it already went through a lot of the problematic areas. So this is a dog bone shaped layout. It does a figure eight. I'm now realizing that this webcam's focus is bad. Um, I'll try to make it a little better. Yes. So, wow, that is not the best, and this one's also not the best, but it's much better. So this is not Porky's crack, but it is kind of like it. I'll see if I can make this angle a little more friendly. I'm gonna go grab another piece of wood and fix this one. No problem. Enjoy, Kevin. I'll be setting up and doing layout. We'll be working on the layout afterwards. I'm just gonna put this back up and try to fix it so the angle looks fine because I do quite enjoy this entire layout. It's for a tiny layout, which works with my Kevin's tiny train. This actually has a lot of things going on. I'll take the main webcam and do a small tour first. So, this layout, I know most people don't like when the cameras are moving. I will try not to do much movements. I just want to show the overall. Let me know if you guys get dizzy. It won't be for long again. Thank you. Uh, I tried to make the hill not as steep um, because most hills are not abrupt. So this is the layout. As you guys can see, it's 2 by 4. Like I said, you can't see measurement, but at least you can see the actual shape. It it's what could be considered a what's the name of that layout? The uh, scenic ridge from, but it's a smaller version to fit the 2 by 4. It's a double dog bone, folded dog bone, which I think looks great, works great, uh, gives a lot of runtime before a lap is complete for the space it has. The only downside is to make this work, I needed a 4% grade, which even a great Kato engine like this will not pull much behind it because of the grade, but at the same time, you don't want a super long train on such a small board. So, it's you win some, you lose some. I think that compromise was worth it to have the extra track time or running space, the 4% grade. Let's hope I didn't lose any of you. Nope. And the angle seems pretty good still. I may try to lift this uh, this piece of wood as well. All right. So I mean, on this layout, it's even less than that. It's 5 to 10 max cars, depending on the cars. I've for passenger train, I will take out later my Kato P42 with 5 Kato passenger cars that go behind. I really like that train. It's a small little Amtrak train that simply looks good and works great. And that train can be will pull around no problem of that grade. This train I can do well. This engine can do a bit more, but really not by much. I don't think it'll pull the entire train that it has on my regular layout because my regular layout does not have a grade, which is unfortunate, but um, at the same time more practical. The ideal layout to me would have 2 loops. Did I mess something up? No, no. The ideal layout will have 2 loops, one with a grade, one without a grade. This is what if I had to limit myself to one super small layout. This would be the design actually. This folded dog bone, because just for show, these 3 cars, no issue whatsoever, even though they're not the lightest or the smallest, but it's only 3 cars. So yeah, this would be the minimum I would do. If I'd have to go as small as this, this would probably be the track plan. The only thing maybe I do different, and I always have the possibility of changing this layout later, is maybe add a turnout here and have a bit more track to park the train, but otherwise, being a folded dog bone, it's pretty limited. Minimum radius, Jim, would be 9 3/4 inch, which is like 18-inch radius. But surprisingly, most of my rolling stock is doing fine on this, so not complaining. Um, it looks tight with longer cars. I'm not gonna lie, and yes, the passenger cars with truck-mounted couplers simply don't work on this. Um, there's no way around it. It just doesn't. One of the car, one of the side. I don't want to break. I don't want to break this. But one of the side. I'll try this. I think that's fine. All right. It on longer cars, it does look a little awkward, and passenger cars with body-mounted couplers don't work with that radius. But otherwise, it works great. of course, my computer logged just as I was reading what she said. All right. So, all right. So yeah, this would be. So far, we're at 5 car, and I think this one's rail. Yep, this one's off track. This would be the minimum size I would do, and I will take a grade for if it gives me more track time, which it does. As you can see, even 5 cars, this engine pretty unaffected. I will be adding 2 to 3 more cars, depending if it. I'm not sure if it will take it. I'll try. I really want to add this one. I don't know if you guys can see it. This little. It's a pretty big, but somehow turns really well into tight curve. A 6-axle freight uh, depressed flat car. So, well, not a flat car, but a depressed car, and it really looks good and turns well. So yeah, that's the project tonight. The plan for the stream is to decorate the city and around the city. Not sure if it'll happen. Not sure how well it'll happen. We will be running more trains, not just this one. Um, but at least this will be fun, and I'm glad I'm taking this layout out. There's so many little things on this layout that's it's not it's not that I took a shortcut, but because I was limited in time due to the expo coming up, I did do some cheaper looking or simpler designs that turned out to be fine. Just normally I would have spent more time making it better than this, but the results are more than satisfying. So let's try this. I'm pretty sure this is fine, but any longer it's where it's time to struggle. Yeah, that looks about right. It's not struggling yet, but I don't think I'll be adding much more. How's the camera angles, by the way? Depress center, thank you. How's the camera angles? Do I need to change them? The lighting, I can try to adjust them, but it's a little bit more complicated. I do have, I have lots of lights. So I'm really surprised by how dark the new camera is because that is a new webcam, a new camera. When I tested it earlier today, not in my basement, it looked great. And now that I'm testing it here, it doesn't look as great. Yet I'm not sure why because it has just as much lighting. Um, I tried playing with the settings and everything, and it improved, but it's not perfect. Let's add one more car to see if it takes it, because this is the fun of how many cars can I pull. This one is a easy, shorty, light car. Shouldn't affect it too much, but if it was at the limit, not much is still too much. I'm good. Nice. Well, I'm at 8 cars, including the caboose, so it's uh, center top could be sized a little better. Yep, you're not wrong. I'm gonna make this one bigger and make it to the side and have my face in the middle even smaller because let's face it, we're not here for my face. We're here for the train. So let's move me to the side like this. And you guys still see, yep, this is not bad. Alright, so I think this is good. Uh, I cannot unzoom like see more of this, much more because the camera where I can where I have space to put it is an odd place, and I can't back it further, and there's no zoom setting on that camera. I will try to get a slightly higher pedestal for the one at the back there, just to see a bit more of the layout. Because being this low, while it looks like a human view, like a human point of view, it it doesn't show as much of the layout as I wish. And since it's a better camera, I I wanted to see as much as possible. So I'll go grab a slightly higher pedestal and see if it works even better. How is that for an angle? Now I can't see much of the train because of the other cameras. That's worked out. Ah, ah, ah. I'm liking this a lot. We're losing the very close curve, but we're gaining a lot more for the rest of the layout. So, yep, that to me, that's a winner. Uh, if you guys think that's better, let me know. If it is good, perfect. And I'm very, very close to my wire. I will move the wire just to make sure it doesn't hit the train. I put this. I'm trying to put this that way. How is that? I'll tell you more. There's no point in seeing the outside of the layout. Yeah, that's about as good as it's gonna get for tonight's stream. Hey, hello, Dave, the MSFN scale. Nice to see you here. I don't recognize the name. I'm sorry if you've been here before and I don't remember. I'm just bad with names. Not just online, but in real life as well, if not worse in real life. Um, Jim is a good friend of mine, and he's been helping me and encouraging me with this stream. So if if he says something and it looks weird, it's just because he knows me personally. Don't worry about it. Tonight, I don't know if you how much you've heard so far. Um, I'm gonna work on this layout. That's been a passion project of mine that started a while back, and I've dialed back from it and came back. It's a small 2x4. It's a folded dog bone. Pretty simple, a 4% grade, so that's a little bit more work for the engine, but on a short and small layout, you're not gonna. Uh, who is this guy, Kevin? I don't know. And if you're talking about me, you know best. I can't answer you on who I am. So yeah, on a short layout like this, 4% grade is fine because you're not going to be pulling long trains due to this size limit. Um, you don't know any Kevin? Well, I don't know what you're doing here then. So we're gonna decorate the city. It used to be decorated, and it will be taken out again. Even there's a spot here that usually has a little cabin in the forest, cabin in the wood. The reason it was taking off is this layout is a layout that I bring to shows and stuff like that. So I need to remove the buildings for transportation. So it'll stay on the layout as long as I don't need to move it again. But if I do need to move it again for whatever reason, it will be removed again. So that, on the plus side, this I don't have any regret or I don't mind redoing my stuff. Right, it's a blank canvas where the sole purpose is to have fun at redoing it. We will be running this train and more. I did bring some more new stuff. Yeah, well, if I this again, I understand that 4% is not optimal, and 2% is much better. Uh, I I wish you still had trains because it is quite fun. I understand that 2% is much better than 4. It can pull a lot more. It can look better. It looks more realistic. But since I was limited in space, I wanted to show people at conventions and like any types of train shows that you can have fun and a lot going on in a quite a nice layout in a small space, right? You didn't need a giant layout to have fun or for it to look good, and that's what I think I achieved. I really like the looks of this layout. Some cameras have weird colors, like the one. Some cameras have low frame rate, like the one right here, and some cameras have low resolution, like this one here. All three, though, show partially what the layout looks like or feels like. This is as good as I'm going to get it for tonight, and we'll start decorating and putting stuff. I may go off screen once in a while to go grab glue or any sorts of things that I realize I need that I didn't bring. But yeah, so let's start by placing a building in a car. Uh, but little room set up my any of my unit track. I mean, if it's since unit track is really good to put together and take apart, you can at least run them on the kitchen table or something like that when you just want to run some trains. But of course, this is a temporary setup, so you're not going to have a lot of scenery. This layout, I've seen other people do similar layouts to mine where they put them in a, I don't know. I've seen an example of a coffee table where they put glass around it on top, and they put their layout inside of the coffee table. I've seen people do uh, some foldables, some can go up to the roof and come back down. I've seen that some people do. They had a bar. They removed the top of the bar, did their whole layout, and put the top back on. They had glass on each side and lights on the bottom of the bar. But at the same time, if they wanted to work on it or just look at it, they'd lift the top of the bar. Um, I'm. I know it really depends on everyone's situation, but I do believe that you if you really sit down and think about it, there could be a way to set yourself something up, right? Um, I'm I just want to encourage people to have fun and run their trains, and um, I started in a small apartment where this two by four, well, not this specific one, but a two by four layout like this was on top of my my drawer in my room, right? It wasn't the most convenient thing in the world. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but uh, I was able to run trains in the minimal space I have. Yeah, exactly, Jim. That's also another option. Modular layouts. I've seen people even do smaller modules than what you had, simply for storage reasons, and you can put them on sliders in a not on sliders, but you can put them on shelves, stack one on top of the other. There's ways to that. Unitrack has not only an ease to connect and disconnect together, but they even have expandable track in terms of length and retractable, so you can put those in between the modules and have a smooth operating track, right? Uh, that would be a very oh hello Sweet Sea, glad to see you. Sorry for last week. I messed up my OBS and it crashed and I had to restart the stream. Um, but yeah, there's ways. The bar setup was a really nice setup. I don't remember when on Reddit I saw this, but I saw this months or years ago on Reddit. But it was beautiful. There's actually more than one that I saw, but one that hit me the most was a Canadian that was doing a beautiful CNCP NV rail setup, and honestly, I if I could find it, I would definitely show it to you guys. But unfortunately, I'm not in a position to do that setup. So to start the project, I'm gonna put the first detail I always put because it's the simplest to put, but also something from my childhood. I have this harvester that's not actually. Uh, is it, oh, okay, you can see it in the camera. Right. I have this harvester from my childhood that I really like, and it's not to scale, but it's somehow pretty close. It was sold in the Matchbox stuff, like if it was a 1/64th, but we all know that these harvesters are much bigger than cars, so I don't know um, much. So we all know that this doesn't actually fit the scale. It is too big for N scale, but on the layout it actually looks quite nice. So I will be putting it where I like to put it, which is in front of the bar, right here. And can we see it on any camera? Not really. I will borrow this top camera and show it in its spot. Oh, I almost dropped the stand on the train. So this is where I put it. As you can see, it actually blends quite nicely, and we will wait for the train to come back so we can see the train go by it, and you'll see it actually is pretty close in size for something that's completely off scale. So in the meantime, let's enjoy the train going around the layout. It's going a little fast, but it works. And this is the train with the harvester in front. As you can see, it's too big, but also it gives a false sense of perspective. So it's not a bad way to model the forced perspective option. Let's put it back like it was, like this. And let's hope this stays together. Oh, I messed with it. I'm gonna mess with it even more tonight, so expect me to redo this. And mine was set up on 2x4 section, 24 by 16 L shape. That must have been a beautiful layout. That's very nice. Used to be hard to find my N scale. 3D printing is getting better. Yep, I do agree. I still don't have a 3D printer, and that's just me not going all in on a 3D printer setup. But I do agree that it's much easier. But even then, I would say that the more we go, the more time goes, the more N scale is growing for many reasons. One of them is not as many people have full basements, but still want to run trains and enjoy layouts. So N scale is great for apartments being so small, and also there's some uh, Kato has been growing and growing and growing, which and doing more and more North American trains, which is one of the best brand out there for N scale. I will just flat out say this. Tonight we'll only run Kato engines, and they're all running amazingly. The cars are not. A lot of them are micro trains, and I have some other brands in there. There's Atlas, there's Rapido, there's a mix. But for engines, Kato is very hard to beat, and they are growing their collection that's available, which is quite nice. And so, yep, there's and for buildings and stuff, like you said, there's 3D printing. Walters has not come out with anything new recently. They've just been redoing their most popular HO scale stuff in N scale. But at least there's something. There's some Chinese manufacturers that are selling stuff on eBay, which used to be a good option, but now with everything that's happening, is it's a little more difficult. But for now, up until now, it was great. Uh, the next thing I'm going to put, this is something I will need to go grab some glue for because the roof fell off. Or as a funny YouTube video, the front fell off, but this isn't the front, this is the roof. I'll just put them on for now without actually clipping it and then show you, gluing it, and then show you guys. This is a small garage. This is one of those Chinese sellers on eBay. A small little repair garage. That is not me who decided to put that there, but it's a nice little garage that has a good shape, and I used for a car garage on my layout. Let's put that here, like so. Oops, I already lost the roof. Nice. The perk of having removable roof pieces is that you can you can put some details on the interior or some lighting. The downside is you can lose the roof and yeah, you can break stuff. So I like to put there. Also, I do have a lot of little figures, but I don't know how well I'll be able to put them on the layout for one simple reason. They used to all have the little plastic piece underneath the clear plastic piece, like Dave showed in on his layout that he does. But due to me putting them and taking them out of storage, they all lost them, and I don't know if I still have them around to put back on. So that we will have to see. But it should we'll at least be able to put some cars and some buildings, so that's still going to be nice. But let's see what how things are going here. Used to be marrying a split level young family, too young to be around my stuff. That is very understandable. I do agree that this stuff is fragile and you want to take good care of it, and that when it's too young, it's dangerous if they break parts. I know it would not be intentional, but it still happens, and it's unfortunate, so I get it. Walters was well, like manufacturer. Yeah, yeah, they've been doing a lot of stuff like that, Walters. But the when I was referring to a Walters, I was referring to their building, their Cornerstone series. They kept those, and they kept the lifelike Cornerstone, lifelike buildings, and sold the rest of the parts to other manufacturers. Um, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I think Atlas got some of the engine stuff from Lifelike. Well, from Walters, that was from Lifelike, but I'm really not sure about this one. So don't don't quote me on this one. And if you do, just make sure to let everyone know that I'm going with what I think I remember correctly, but I'm probably wrong. Um, so these would be the two buildings. Let's add some cars, and then I'm gonna do a train swap. And since last week, Tweetsy got lost in the stream mess up, I will offer Tweetsy to decide the next train available from the list I will show, which is either a CN SD40-2. Let's put it on this camera actually. Uh, SD40-2 pushing a rotary snowplow that's technically Japanese, but doesn't matter to me. It's a CN. I do not have the skills to do a paint job on it, but I can imagine it. And if I ever do find the skill or find someone that would do it for me, I will change that. Or I do have just a second, an Amtrak P42 DC engine with four, what is it called? There's one Viewliner and four Amfleet cars that can be pulled. So no, this is exclusively DC, Jim. It could have DCC. I mean, there's two plugs available, one from the for the front of the layout, one for the back. Simply, since it's a show layout, I can plug on either side. I do not have any N-scale DCC stuff, and I do not plan on buying N-scale DCC stuff. If I do end up with one, I will use my controller on this, my Zephyr Express, but I since it's a single loop with very little operating potential, I don't see the need to do that. I think DC works just fine, and all my equipment is DC, so I'm keeping it that way. Uh, I enjoy your point of view, Dave. But I want to make the stream more entertaining for everyone and more inclusive. Or um, I want people to participate, not just watch. It's not a look at my stuff. I want to show off. It's a hey, let's enjoy trains together. It happens to be mine this time, but if other people are streaming, I will go and participate as well. So that's why I'm offering. Since I don't see Tweetsy responding, um, I will offer someone else, which will be Dave. they will be choosing which train to run. It would be, I know the choice is limited right now, but because I didn't take everything out, but and I don't have as much able to pull up the 4% grade, but either the Amtrak train or or the CN engine with the rotary snowplow. Both will be run by the end of the night. Just which one would you prefer to see first? So I will be waiting for your answer. In the meantime, I will be taking out the Canadian Pacific. CN, perfect. Will do, sir. All right, so I will put away this stuff. I will take the CN out, and I have a caboose folder with someone on it, which will be nice. All right, so let's take the CP stuff out. Thank you, and Scale Fun. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. It's not done. Usually I do 2 hour streams. I think I'll do another 2 hour. Might be a little longer, might be a little shorter. Depends on how much stuff I can do, how entertaining it is, how much uh, how much interaction I get. Just let's see how this goes. But I I do enjoy these types of layout of streams where you not only run train but do some productive stuff. I haven't been such as productive as I thought I'd be because I've been talking to you guys. But of course, that's part of the fun, so I'm not complaining. I'll go grab another car to pull behind it with the caboose. Just a second. All right, so I'm coming back with a CN uh, gondola to put behind in between the engine and the caboose. Let's put the engine, and then I need to convert the coupler type, so I have a boxcar that's a coupler conversion car, and then we'll put the actually really fun and functioning rotary snowplow. I did do some shorts with this with that rotary snowplow before. I really like it. It to me it just is very special, and it was actually on this layout most of them. Fun fact, and I hope tonight works just as good as the other night. I added some weight in that car since it's being pushed and sandwiched in between an engine and a pretty heavy piece of rolling stock. It really rolls well, but it's still not the lightest since there's a full motor in it and some lights. Like this. This just goes so well. Alright, let's see this thing in action. And always forget how primed these engines are. Alright, so will we get the full effect of seeing the rotary snowplow rotor actually turn? Because this one actually runs. Um, As you can see, the Kato engine has no issue pulling and pushing up the 4% grade. And, oh, something derailed, and it was not because of, right, the shank on this engine is pretty short, yet it has a lot of swing. And, oh, you guys didn't see that. It has a lot of swing and might not be able to run something behind it. Sorry about that, guys. That was my bad. Wow, that is quite a collection. So let's see what I can do. If I have, I'll check. Does this loco, because I know the shank's pretty, okay, yeah. I just need a really heavy car behind it. Alright, I'll figure that one out. Proof is that the front did not derail because it was heavy, and the engine could push it, no issue. Alright, let's restart everything. Normally, well, I was about to say normally my live streams are not as this problematic, but that would be a lie. They are this problematic normally. It would be abnormally if it wasn't problematic. I don't think Dave is here, and when I say Dave, I mean Scott's Rail, but he would be a witness to both how live streams can be problematic and uh, how there's always some last minute changes to do. I will. I still need to go grab some very heavy freight car or put a load in it. Actually, that could do it. Oh, of course, when I said this wasn't a problem, it started to become a problem. I might have to go grab a 4-axle loco instead. Yep. It seems like it. Because my 4-axles do not give me this issue. As much as I love this SD40, it really does look good and perform amazing. It seems to be not quite enjoying the 9 3/4 inch radius, which is a choice I had to do to be able to fit this. So it was either wider curves or a shorter rolling stop. And I lost the caboose and the car in tunnel. So glad I did a hatch, an access hatch. And turns out I lost it further in, and I'm not sure where it is. Might have to push it up with the train because I cannot see it whatsoever. Huh. Where is this little thing? Alright, so I'll back up the engine and try to push the cars out. And we'll be, of course. And we're out. Alright. Don't pull this out. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't think you can. But, alright, so let's push this one up and remove this for now. And I'll go grab a different engine. This is going to pull back all the way out. I might be able to just grab something heavy. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't need to have something behind it as long as it holds. So let's see if it holds. I do not know any cod. That sounds like he has quite a collection if yours is smaller than his. But only in that spot that it derails. That means the track work might not be great there. Let's see if I can fix this. Because everywhere else is fine. I know it's not a dirty track issue, but I'm still trying to clean it off in case there's something that is being blocked. Not blocked, but is in the way of the car. I'll just wait for it to go up the hill. This. I want to make sure there's nothing inside the curve that could make the truck jump, because those are pretty big flanges and that is something that can be affected by that can create derailments if it jumps uh, on the flange. That could be a problem. Could be something else. So this goes just fine. Let's slow it down and see if I see any jump or any awkwardness. That's a straight. And it derails. It derails when it hits the straight, which is very strange. Usually it's the opposite. Huh. Is there something when it hits the straight? I don't feel anything. So it's not a flange issue. Let's see what's happening in the discussion. I I don't have a lot of covered hoppers, but I do have quite a few, and I do enjoy them a lot. Yes, it is very detailed. Uh, I guess my thing would be passenger trains in general, not necessarily RDC specifically, but North American passenger trains are my go-to for purchasing. If I find one at a good deal, I will not be able to say no. Is it already off the track when it gets there? I think that might be the issue. It might derail earlier and just push down that way. Is the car? Does the car have something that it rubs on? It does seem so. Okay, that could be it. I think there's an underbody detail that's in the way. I could add a spacer underneath. I don't know if my pin is long enough to support it though. Let's see. Well, I could. And it already had one, and it's still doing that. Alright, so that's a problem. Maybe I could add a second one. I'll go grab a second one and see what happens. Worst case, it doesn't work. Best case is it fixes it. I'll be right back. So, I got another spacer, but I also got a super heavy boxcar. Like, super heavy. So, this should not derail. Keyword should. I will be putting it defying the train as soon as I reassemble the other one. Have I missed anything? Oh wow. That's a good discussion going on. That's actually great. Let's see if I can put something in that's useful or if I would be too much. Uh, DC's. Yep. Oh, I do have to agree. I don't have it with me right now, but I do have it back there. I should have brought it. I have some N scale covered hoppers that have the underbody details of the pipe, so that's incredible. Uh, I I only sold one thing via N scale engine. I still regret it, so I'm not selling anything else anymore. Uh, I do have, like I said, the other train's going to be an Amtrak, so that'll be fitting, but it's going to be modern, not 70s, so it's going to be a mix of both you guys. Let's 95 to 05 is what I'm writing down, although this is one of those example of my railroad, my rules for my layout. I do not have an arrow, not for this layout, not for the two other layouts, the HO and the bigger N scale layout. I I say modern, as in present day, but in a weird condition where railroad companies cared a lot about their equipment and keeps them clean and keeps them alive and forever. I still run some steam engines on my layout as an excursion train. I really like that idea. I know it's completely unrealistic and financially not viable. I am not completely unaware of that, but at the same time, this is a model that for someone a model that someone just wants to display a lot and run a lot of different trains. So to me, that fits that mentality because it's my railroad, so I can put the mentality I want. And budgets aren't a thing. These trains don't even actually go to pick up stuff and drop them off. They just run all the time. And I think I've lost my spacer. God damn it. Oh no, it's right there. Nice. And now it's there, and I'm gonna put it in. And this is why most people don't do N scale because they don't like how tiny it is and how hard it is to work on. I would disagree that that is hard to work on. You just need a little bit more patience, but that's a different story. I will reverse my engine to go come grab this car. And don't worry about this scale speed of 1,000 miles per hour. This is just a Kato being too good. Oops, and I already lost the pin, so spacers do not seem to be the solution. So I thank you, Jim. I would say that I guess that's true that everyone does. It's just mine's a bit more obvious because at the same time I can run multiple eras, which is very unrealistic, and I'm aware. I just refuse to change a habit because damn it, those are my trains. I like them, and I don't want to change that. No, this is not holding, and I lost the pin on the ground, which is much much worse. I do have some spares, but I would like to find it because these pins are hard to get for some reason. All right, so let's take a spare pin out and see for that pin. Oh, I found it. Oh, boy. We'll still try a spare pin just in case a spare one would have more length and more grab. Uh, and I'm lucky Corky isn't here to quote me on this one, saying a spare pin with more length would have more grab. Uh, let's see how this reacts. These Atlas pins and central passenger set with GG1 with a GG1. Yeah, I've never been a fan of GG1s. I know a lot of people love them, but I don't know. They're uh, they're very unique looks, aren't for me, I guess. Um, they're as I said, very unique. This seems to be working. Let's hope it lasts more than 30 seconds because that's what most people aim for, longer than 30 seconds. All right. Will this work? And will this push without derailing? Otherwise, like I said, I'll use the very heavy box cart to go in between, which should solve a lot of my issues. And oh yeah, unfortunately, I guess you were able to escape. Was it with your magical Santa Claus powers, or was it just out of sheer luck? I do have some spare wheels for this because, of course, my super heavy car has lots of wheels. Oh, right there. Perfect. And has it derailed? Not so far, but it's not pushing anything other than itself. Nope. Um, is it on the track or is it derailed? On the track, on the track, on the track, and derailed. Well, now I know where it does, so that's already a good indicator that there might be something wrong with that spot of track, which was before the curve. Interesting. I don't want to have a full long train in front of the engine because that would be too unrealistic for even for me. All right, so this is there, and let's see if it can push pull these two cars at the same time. If it can, I will run this full setup. And it derailed higher there, so let's first see if it does a pull push pull whatever with this. And if it does, and I mean up the hill because on flat or downgrade that's easy. It's really up the hill that might be an issue. If it does, and I still have issue with the front car, I will have both cars in the front. Which again, unrealistic, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't, I haven't found anything that could make the car jump, but you never know. Maybe I just moved it without realizing. And let's see. This. And will it derail? I'm glad to see that it went up the hill without an issue. Will it derail? Right now it's not struggling. It's not struggling, and it derailed again. All right, so let's change this and have two cars in the front. I'm not enjoying this, but I'm doing what I must. I do what I must. Great Star Wars quote. So this is in place, and as you can see, it rolls really well. That's not the issue. And it's not properly. I think it latched. Thank you very much, Jim, for the reminder. Uh, I do hope people enjoy it enough to like and subscribe. I understand if you don't. Leave a comment, even if you're watching this after the fact. I will answer to your comments online if you leave a comment on rewatching. If you and if you do enjoy the content, I'm trying to do this every week, every Monday. That's why it's called Mainline Monday. Um, what I'm doing during the live stream depends and changes with what how much progress I've done during the week, how busy I was, and what people want to see. Um, Last week we did just running on the main N scale layout. No, I will not be able. Wow, that's not what I expected. But yeah, I will not beat Jim as contrary to what he says. But I last week, like I said, last week I was running trains on my bigger N scale layout. Hello, Kevin. Well, welcome back. It depends on what you guys want to see. Last week we had a request to run stuff on the main N scale layout, and that ended up with a Japanese bullet train running around, which ran great, but will not run on this. So I'm not even trying. The curves are way too tight. Uh, let's see if it does the same problem again. Hey, at least it went up and down the hill without an issue. So uncoupling and rolling down super fast is not considered an issue, by the way. So let's see if it works, and if that works, we'll let it run a little bit, and we'll grab some more buildings to put on the track while on the layout. If it doesn't, well, I'll change the engine because I've tried enough, and technically the entire since the beginning the issue was the engine. I just really want to run this SD40-2. I just really like this engine. So I'm not saying the engine's going to go away for the whole stream. If it doesn't work, I might just end up pulling a regular train with it. But so far, hey, it the issue has been fixed. All right, so now now that this works, let's put some buildings on this bitch. All right, I have more buildings down here. These are buildings I had on this layout and another layout. Well, my other layout previously before the move. Still, some of them have been messed up, some of them are fine. What I will put where is not set in stone. As I said earlier, this will is not a permanent placement. This layout is a layout I bring to shows if I have the option, if I'm offered to bring a layout. And so to transport, I need to remove the details on it. So that's why these usually go. Also, the placement of these buildings will be affected by the camera angles. If a good angle is ruined by a building, I will not be putting it there. But if it's not affected, it'll go there. If it actually improves the look, I will. So this I'm going to show you here. This building is a apartment tower, apartment complex. When I did the layout, this was originally planned to be here. Um, how does this look on camera? This blocks the view a lot, so this is not a good idea. All right, this could go somewhere else, like here. That's worse. Uh, wow, right. This building being so big, it will cut the view about everywhere. I could change the garage. Yeah, I could do that and put that there. It wouldn't be too much in the way, but it will also be. Let's move this. Oh, the roof was falling off. It's really windy on this layout, huh? So much roof issues. Maybe if they had better roofers, it wouldn't happen so much. But at the same time, it's called It's just making sure you're staying employed, right? It's creating job stability by making cheap roofs, and they're cheap, so people want that. All right. So with that, oh, that doesn't hide too much of the layout, and actually looks half decent. And the garage makes sense. Is it better this way or this way? I think this way actually. Is it too much out? Nope, that would be actually quite good. The terrain is uneven. That was me not being great at what I do, and because of that, the building is wobbly. That could be fixed if I took a lot more time, but that would be off camera. I'm not going to spend hours and hours on this. And right, this was not the building. This was the building that was there. That explains a lot. All right, so what you're seeing here is a lot of buildings attached together through cheap lights from Dollarama, and I quite like the idea of this. It actually worked great, but I never bothered to put batteries in it, so it never actually lit. And also, oops, something fell, and I don't know what it is. I will pick up what fell before going any further. This is a little figure. Alright, so that will be put somewhere else later. Put it here so I don't lose it. Alright, so it was a series of little building that I got online for cheap, but at the same time not cheap enough for what it is. So I have this little building that's kind of a tiny apartment complex. That makes more sense. I will not be using the big one. It's just too big for the layout. It makes sense on the other layout, but not on this one. Oh, I need to dismantle this one if I want to remove it. Yep. Alright, I had done uh, some work to put the wires through everything. The lights went through a lot, actually. I will not be doing that. I'm not saying I'm never putting lights in this. I'm saying when I'll do it smartly by having uh, a logical path and a place to put the wires under the building, because right now they don't have a space and they're quite annoying. I think this is stuff. Yeah, shoot. I pushed it in really good. So I guess these lights are staying on this. This isn't going through all of this. I guess we're putting lights on the layout after all, which is not a bad thing, just is not planned. I'll put it that way. Alright, so then the unevenness of the floor is actually going to be a good thing, as it'll keep everything uh, in place and a place to hide the cables. So this goes here. This light makes sense there. This light makes sense there. This light. Oh, I don't want to drop everything. Where did I go? Oh, that's where the top went. Alright, so this is missing one piece, I think. Oh well, one piece is not too many. Sorry if I'm not looking at the chat. I should be doing a better job at this. I'm just trying to rebuild this dismantled building properly and put the lights back on. So this is fitting properly. This one is now aligned. This is not aligned. Come on, come on, and everything else. God damn it. So these little kits are just snapping together. They are great when they do snap in together properly, but when they decide not to align, nothing aligns, and it just will fight you until you either give up or break something, which is not ideal, but is my experience. Alright, so I guess I'll be putting it similar to what it was before. Oops, the laptop decided to go not to sleep, but why is it this way tonight? It never does that. Uh, there you go. Alright, so what am I missing? Alright, hello Dave. Glad to see you here. No problem on you being late. I'm often late to your stream, so I'm only getting a taste of my own medicine. uh, so, Alright, so what which frame is no help frame the shot. That works, yes. Some more plaster down. So, which shot move? I'm assuming this one. Oh, you didn't see that. This one. All right. So, everything else seems pretty close to what it should be. Let's keep moving on. So, I have a series of building in my hands, which are clearly a mess. That's because I am a mess, and because I forgot that I had entangled the lights under the buildings. Which normally looks nice when it's powered, but it's not, and I have too long of a strip. Anyways, not the best idea, but these were meant for this, so I will try to put those on, so you will see me get up and actually go put them back where they were originally when I first made this layout, and we'll see what happens for the lighting. Alright, so, uh, alright, let's hope everything doesn't break apart. All right, you guys should probably still hear me, but you probably don't see me. That's fine. I will be putting some buildings. This one went a little something like this. We'll just be dropping it on the middle of the layout and fixing everything afterwards. So these are the long strip of lights that are not usually used. I bought this full strip thinking that I'd put it in more buildings, and the idea works. I've done it. I have a video on my channel about a full layout lit with like the full city is lit with some LEDs just like this. Works great, looks great, but unfortunately that layout doesn't exist anymore. I moved, and that some of the building were unfortunately destroyed in the move. Some were just taken off, but this was not said strip. That's a separate LED. Well, it's not really a strip because it has multiple LEDs as, like, how do I say this? Each LED has its own light bulb and its own thing, but at the same time it's all attached together. So I'm not even sure how to describe this. The roof fell off again. I just keep thinking on the video of the front fell off on a boat. It's a Australian comedian that made this video. Quite hilarious, actually. The front fell off. Come on, why is there a knot in this? It was fine 30 seconds ago and I hate wiring, but at the same time, wireless is always worse, so you never know what to pick with this. Why is it fine now? I didn't even untangle anything. Whatever, I'll just use it as is. Now that it's fine, I will just pass it through right away, so before it tangles itself again, and before the train comes, so it doesn't get stuck. Get stuck by a train. It gets struck by a train, actually. Alright, so these are on the river, out of the way, which is a good thing, actually. There we go. And let's pull a bit more light out of the way so nothing hits. And then I'll make sure the camera aren't affected by this. Why is it... Alright, so let's picture this. Let's see if I have batteries that work. Are these charged? Let's hope they are. Alright. And let there be light. Yay! It works! Nice! So that's the first, not the first good thing tonight, but it's one of the few good things from tonight. Alright, I actually have some extra length here, so this went there when I originally filmed this. This would be a street lamp. The rest is just extra that I don't know where to put, and we don't talk about it. That's perfectly fine with me. And let's untangle some stuff. This went there, like so. And now you have two building with lights. One of them has missing roof piece, but we don't talk about that part. And we don't talk about the unevenness of the ground or the building is crooked. We do talk about the fact that we do have buildings with lights now, which you don't see them much on stream or in person actually. Well, the fact that there's lighting in person and those lights aren't super bright really reduces the effect of the whole thing, but it still looks nice. I'm still quite happy with this. Now, uh, this one here, like this, oh, something's in there. I don't know what it is. The tint for the light fell off on this one. Not the light, but the windows. It's instead of being a clear film, it's a tinted film, which sounds like a bad idea, but turns out is a great idea because it makes sure that it diffuses your lights when you put some inside, while still having a clear effect, so you can see partially through, and gives a good, just a overall good look. All right, so let's see how this looks now. Almost have this building completely, and you can't see any of the lights in. Nice. That's fine. I'll just accept it as is. That's actually quite nice, though. All right, so if I move this here, let's just pretend this is a light for a park, and this will be here. This will be a car mechanics of that. So far, the city is taking shape, and I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'm going to swap two cameras. I'm going to swap this one with that one, the one at the back, the bottom, so I can see the city at a better angle with the new camera and have. All right, I'm missing some stuff now. I'm only seeing Jim saying that I'm going to beat him. Okay, no, that's good. All right, so All right, so let's pretend. Yeah, let's keep it that. So um, I'm actually happy that I did this much progress. I didn't think. I just realized I'm missing another piece on that building. I am not even gonna look for it. We're gonna swap cameras. Actually, I'm gonna make sure you guys aren't getting sick from the cameras moving. So I'm gonna make another scene with. Thank you. I've been very proud of that part. That has been the main focus of this layout when I started it. The city scene was not an afterthought because I always wanted one there, but it wasn't as planned or worked as hard. I didn't spend as much time. It was just let's have a flat surface with a road that leads to it. Put some pavement color. Put some buildings where it looks nice and make it work. The mountain was actually worked on a lot, and I'm quite pleased with the results. The one thing I will say is that a lot of the plaster has cracked since then from transportation, but it's not a bad thing. It actually looks more realistic with those cracks. So I'm not complaining. My crack is cracked now. That you could say that. Kevin's cracks. I don't know. So I'm gonna bring one camera up the back camera up front, so I can move the other two. And that's actually not the worst view either in itself. And I'll move the other camera first to then um, move that camera. Alright, so let's do this. So, how long is this wire? Is it long enough to reach where the new camera is? I think so, actually. I'll put it down there and I'll go around to place it properly. Alright, so let's move this camera under the wire because it's tangled. Of course, every wire gets tangled for whatever reason. It can't not be tangled. And this wire is slightly shorter. I could. What can I do since it's shorter? And I don't have the space to put any to stand this on. So I guess I'm not going to change. I'm just going to turn this camera to have a better angle on the city. But no, that the mountain scene is the nice part. Oh my god. I guess I'll just go back to what I had and hope you guys can see the city well enough. I'll just put it back where it was. So let's switch back to the way it was. This will have mountain scene in this way. This, I'm going to turn this more. If I have this, actually showing more of the mountain scene while actually being supported by something. Nice. Alright, so that's nice. It's still not showing off my city, but that's, I guess, beside the point. I will take the next to go and move it, the new camera. How's the new camera, Dave? Actually, you weren't here when I started the stream. This, the bottom camera is a new webcam. It's not the highest end of webcam, but it's actually pretty good. The sound quality is lower because I'm using the webcam's microphone, but actually I'm quite satisfied with just about everything. So here's the city. Let's do even more in. You guys can see with the buildings around. I will be putting a building in the middle and something else there, but I just wanted to show you guys with it. And I don't know if you guys can see at all the lights in the buildings, but there are lights. Like I said, let's pretend that the ones sticking out are lights from a light pole, but for the rest, let's see if I can get it back in place. Sorry for the shakiness, at least. Wow, that's actually not the worst anymore. At least. Why is it not flipping like it is? What did I do? What did I do again? It was working just fine earlier. It was latching on the piece of wood. Now it's not. What did I do? Is this a good angle again? Slightly higher. Is it too high? Nope, that's great. All right. Sorry for the camera movement. I tried to make it better. Uh, yeah, thank you. So I actually shelled a bit more money just to get the smoother frame rate on it and a longer cable, which is still not long enough, but it does help. As you guys could see, the lighting is not the best, but also having lights above makes those LEDs pretty dim. At least it works. Your crack looks much nicer than mine. Must be an age thing. But I don't think it's age. I think it's physical activity because this crack has seen a lot of movement. It has been moved around a lot. I wouldn't say passed around, but because I was the only user the entire time, but it's been moving a lot. Um, no, but seriously, the fact that it's a smaller scale might help because you don't have like as as much tiny fine details. I did put a lot of work into it. Some of it is plaster that cracked naturally from being moved around. The colors have been multiple and multiple layers. It started with a full plain pale gray, like you can see on top here, and just multiple and multiple layers of wash. Not always applied the same way. Some of them were drip, letting it drip down on the rocky surface. Some other were spread around. In the crack, it's spread. On the outside, it's more drip, and lots of moss applied, and also grass type all mixed together. Having multiple, I know it's one single color. That's my biggest, not regret, but that's the thing that shows the most, like the least, not originality, but the least realism, the lowest level of realism. It's the fact that everything's the same color. But other than that, having lots of moss on top of it, some grass looking, and you let gravity do its thing. As I put a lot of glue everywhere and let it fall on it, and where it's kept on falling, it meant that it wouldn't stick because it's too steep. Well, in real life, it wouldn't grow there. But where it stayed because it was flat enough, just like real life, it would grow there. So that's how I went about it. Uh, so that's what I've done. There's a mix of simple, badly cut styrofoam layers, some expanding foam, and some plaster on top, and then it was just paint, a few layers of paint, and letting it dry and hoping for the best. There's some spot that I looked at while I was doing it, and I thought it was complete trash. I went away, let it dry, came back the next day, and it looked great. So there's some luck into that. I'm also really proud of the not actual forest but foresty section. I tried to put a lot of trees condensed together. I will take the camera next to me to show what I mean. This one actually well clipped. So just this area is one of them, but it's not the most condensed. This area is a little bit more condensed, and that area is more condensed as well. Having lots of trees close together really brings the realism up because trees are close to each other in real life. They're all physically close to each other, and that really helped bring the realism up. Yeah, that was the goal. The open area here, that's for a building that I put. It's a cabin in the wood that I built a while back. That was like my first building I built, and I'm really happy with it. It's not there yet, but if I had it here, I will have it. Otherwise, the vegetation, like I said, being dense really brings up the realism. Uh, no, no, I'll keep the trees I get. I think I'm quite happy with mine. If I'm going to make something myself, I will do my uncle's way, which is different from everyone I've seen online, which is dry some olive branch, not olive, what am I saying? Grape branches. You dry them out, and it turns out to look like tree. And then, oh no, I understand the joke very well. I know you were sarcastic, and I remember that tree very well. But jokes aside, the the tree my uncle makes, but the trees my uncle makes is he gets some grape branches, dries them, and once they're dry, he dips them in the tips in glue, white glue or Elmer's glue or whatever, and puts some moss at the end. It actually looks really good. Some really nice, realistic trees, and they're very cheap to make. You just need to be healthy by eating a lot of grapes, which if you like them, good. If you don't, good luck, have fun. But yeah. So that would be his method, and it works great for him. And I want to try it again. I want to try it at one point. I haven't done it yet, but now we will add more buildings. And actually, before that, we will put the passenger train on because I do want to run it. And I will have to clean the mess I did tonight, just like Dave does after every stream. Alright, so that's the Kato engine. That'll go in its box because I don't want to mess up my engines. And I'd be the one to drop everything, so at least if it's in its box, it has a chance of surviving. There you go. There you go. This is the box for. Okay, these parts are going with the boxcar box right there. This is for my rotary snowplow, which is a very special part. I'm the one who added the lights in it, but the motor was from the factory. This looks great. Will be great. I will need to go look at the chat in a minute. I just want to put this away first. This, and I will put these two cars on the side with the rest of the stuff that doesn't have a box here. Not that I don't have the box, I just don't have them here. Alright, so those were two fairly heavy cars for N scale, so that was quite impressive from the Kato to actually be pushing this up the hill. Alright, so what engine grows? Oh, that actually sounds great. I don't have that natural here, but I do think it would work great. There's lots of ways to do a natural, a good looking tree for cheap and very easy. It's just you need to be creative and to not take out a drill as some people do, and just take your time and do it slowly and carefully. I don't think trying a new method on stream is the easiest way to go about. Let's just put it that way. You're setting yourself up for failure by doing that, honestly, because streams always go. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong on a stream. And trying something new means trial and error, which you only have so many tries you can do on a stream, right? Um, that's why I'm not a fan of trying new methods on streams. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm saying I'm not going to do it because I know I'm not going to succeed. Alright, so I'm going to leave the power on so I can see the cars on proper direction. These did not get a power rectifier, which is me not having any and not ordering any. So unfortunately, these are directional lighting for these cars. I know it's an easy fix to just put a power rectifier, voltage rectifier, or directionality rectifier. I don't remember the correct name, but not having any on hand does. Uh, maybe not. I don't know. You decide if it is or not. All right, so this one's the wrong way around, or was it? Nope, it was the correct way around. It was just not lighting up. Just had that contacts. Oh boy, that should not be sparking like this. There you go. That one more light. One more car. Bridge rectifier. Thank you, Kevin. That's the correct word I was looking for. But yeah, it's an easy fix to add a bridge rectifier, or to have two LEDs and one facing each direction. Both are valid and easy way to do it. I did not have a bridge rectifier, and I was just trying to add LEDs, so they're not even soldered in; they're just placed in. So it's not an actually completed setup. I was just so happy that it worked that I just went with it as is. Again, this is me doing 90% of the work and then stopping at the last 10%. Unfortunately, a bad habit that I have. I need to work on finishing my stuff, like this layout, but this will never actually be finished, being that it's being transported a lot more than a normal layout. But these cars, those, I don't have any excuse other than my sheer lack of focus. Let's see correctly. Yes. They also do not have keep alives or capacitors. This one, I will use an excuse of it's so dang tiny. I really don't have much space in those cars to put a capacitor. Uh, if someone really wanted to, I'm sure they could, but these little cars with interior have very, very little space available, so I'm not sure it would work great. Not like either either you see the capacitor through the window, or you would have too small of a capacitor to be worth putting in the first place. So I'm that one. I'll take the easy way out of saying it's N scale. It's too small. So you again, you could someone who really wanted to could do better, could do it, but as opposed to the bridge rectifier, this I'm not mad that I don't have one, and I don't think it's an unfinished project because it doesn't. And I'm aware that N scale does have keep alives, but again, fitting those, I think they have keep alives. I don't see why they wouldn't. But fitting those would also be as difficult. So, and no, those are not Kato's lighting kit. Those are just regular LEDs wired to the power pickup that Kato put in those cars. Um, I do really, really like the look of this train, and I think having LEDs in your passenger cars, well, any sort of lighting in passenger cars makes them a lot more realistic and a lot more alive, even though they're actually too bright to be realistic. The the effect of the lighting up on the side of the on the track, especially when you're running this in the dark, is really, really good and really, really nice. Also, this this train is a full Kato train, and it runs incredible. Kato for passenger car on that scale, it does an amazing job. The cars are really, really close together, yet they don't touch each other, even in a 9 3/4 inch radius. Um, they, as you can see, they have integrated pickups from the factory, and they run very smoothly, even on a rough track like this. So I will add more buildings now that we have the passenger train going. And what time is it? Oh, would you look at that? It's 9:40 at my time, so I thought I'd stop at 10. I don't know if I will. I might stay a little longer. This is the building that usually goes here. This little cabin in the woods. Yes, the roof is very shiny. It's imitation of aluminum, not aluminum, but steel roof. I think it looks great on a cabin. And oh, here's the bank that I'm going to put in the middle of the city, like this. And for final, there is my favorite little house. This is Mr. Rogers' house in that scale. That was a kit I found on eBay for actually cheap. The characters that comes with it are where it's Mr. Rogers and his wife. I do have them, but I don't have them here. I glued them in the back of one of my favorite passenger train cars, simply because I thought they looked great, and also because I was afraid of losing them. And where they are now, they are safe. So what this is mostly what it looks like without the little cars in the city, which also add a lot to the scenery, which I will add right now. Come out, please come out. There you go. All right, so what do we have here? We have some sports car for the garage. Let's pretend as if the garage had some car enthusiasts working there. Let's put a modern Supra with, yes, that is a Fast and Furious 9 Supra, but I just think of it as a modern Supra. And let's put the first Fast and Furious, the Mark IV Supra, in the back as if they were hiding from doing something stupid, which most car guys do. Um, I don't know why I'm saying this. Not like any of us are car guys here and or do stupid stuff with their car. Next thing is not really a car, but something that's actually to scale I found on Other Valley Railroad store a while back. It's not their own brand, but it's quite a cool design. Um, this little Bob's Hot Dog food cart, not food cart, but food trailer. It's not a food truck, but it's kind of. I like to put it in the here behind the trees as if this was a park, a natural park where the food trailer is, and people go there to eat. I have a few cars of all from movies. Walmart was selling for a while what they called Jada Hollywood Nano Rides, which were close to N scale, at just as HO scale is close to Hot Wheels. It's the same difference in size. So it's not the right size, but it's close enough that most people are happy with it. And that's where this is from. So first I'll put, this is a truck that's just a plain truck that works good for a layout like this, where it's parked at the back of the this general store. I say this is a small town hardware store. I have this charger also from Fast and the Furious. This is just running down the road because why not? A like this. I have this. I'm not even sure which supercar this is. It's supposed to be written on it. What Lycan Hypersport? Yeah. So this Hypersport supercar or hypercar is going to be parked behind the bank as if it was the bank's managers. This city is a big car enthusiast city because why not? I will have this old rally car. This is Brian's Ford. I was about to say Focus, and I know I'm wrong. This is a Ford Escort. That's what it is. Yep. Yep. Ford Escort. Brian's Ford Escort from another Fast and Furious movie. It'll be just driving, uh, going to the bridge. I have a fire truck that will be somewhere. I don't know where yet. I have a Bumblebee from the Transformer movie, the old style Camaro. This from the beginning of the first movie. This one will go. Let's park it. This is not Dave's house, so let's park him somewhere else. Let's park it in front of the apartments here. Let's. Which car is this? This is a Gloria. The Jeep. This is another Fast and Furious car. Will be going beside the cabin in the woods because whoever owns the cabin needs a lifted Jeep to reach their cabin. I also have some other sports cars that came from Walmart that are not the Jada ones, so they look a little cheaper, but will be put around the bank. Those are, there's not, nope. And I don't, that's a McLaren, and that I don't, I think it's a Jag with a doctor. So this would be the McLaren, and this, oops, either an Aston Martin or a Jaguar. I am unsure. Maybe some higher, fancier car experts would tell me. Uh, Getaway car, rocker, obviously. Yeah. A lot of them could be. So let's put these on the layout because let's think that the bank owners are rich and bank workers. Well, I love them. I'm not a supercar type of person, but McLarens are definitely my favorite if I had to choose one. Uh, this on the hill. And what else? I have so all the little people I had for the city. The plastic is in the box, but it has been lost. Oh, I have a seat that I can put for the park, so I will put the seat, and it's going to be facing the water so that people can enjoy the river, which doesn't look great, but does the job. I haven't worked much about on water features before, so all right. So there's that. Let's do this. I don't know why, but why not? I have a lot of well, a lot. I have a few cows and a few horses to put at the farm because farms need animals. Let's put some cows here. They might, some of them might stand, some of them might not. As soon as I'm going to sneeze beside them, they'll all fall, but I don't really care, honestly. It works. So, another cow. A cow eating. Cow, yeah, cow tipping. Yeah, sneezing is enough to do some cow tipping in this model. So, oh, I tipped a cow. There you go. I will go grab some covered hoppers for to go beside the grain elevators because I think it would look neat because that's usually what the railroad serves. I have some horses laying down; those will stay put a lot more easily. So let's have one here and one here. And you guys probably can't see this. I will be showing it to you guys with the camera, with the new camera when I'm done placing them, so that you guys can actually see. And, so I recently learned that when they say horseplay, that horses actually play a lot. I now live near a horse, not a horse farm because they don't farm. They do. People can go there to ride horses, and they since the horses live there and they have a huge space, they actually get to play together, and they actually do. So horseplay is absolutely a thing in real life. So that's quite fun. All right, so a cow lays down. They're not stressed by the train because they're used to and they know trains don't go off the rails often. Sometimes, but not often. I do not have any steer, just a heads up, so don't expect to find any on my railroad, but if I did, it would be on layout as well. And last cow there, and one more horse right there. Oh, not only did it tip, but it also made, made another one tip. That's nice. And this one's a difficult one. Come on, buddy. Stay upright. There you go. Hey, boy. You dug almost up. You guys didn't see that. Well, you saw that for sure. And you got elbowed in the face. So I have one person that still stands. So let's put them in the park. And oh, this one actually maybe also in the park on the steep part of the hill because the plastic actually is bent backwards. Let's put another seat beside the hot dog stand because why not? Some people like to eat their hot dogs near the stand. Let's have this walking guy just go across the street because he lives dangerously and doesn't look when he crosses the road. I have some couples that I like to put around. Let's put this couple looking at the view from their Jeep, from their oh, come on. Why do I forget the words when I use them? Uh, just a scenic view from their cabin. Another person that didn't lose their plastic. So this person will be coming out of the hardware store and falling off, apparently, which is even funnier. Will this one stand up? Let's see. Well, I think it can. Yep, this couple is walking to the bench, and everything else I have would need a plastic to keep them up. But at least, hey, the city is a lot more full. Alright, so now that this is down, let's see. Uh, let's get your guys' opinion on this. So I'm going to take the Mexico cam and bring it up front of everything. Just a second. And I will be showing everything. Oh, and this. I will pick up the camera, so for people who are motion sickness, be ready. I will try to not do any sudden movement, but I might. Anyway, so the helicopter has lifted off. It's going around the city under the lights. This is pretty sudden for a move. And we'll be put down at the laptop in the meantime for me to cross over to go get everyone. Like this. I'll be right back. Alright, so you guys aren't seeing much, but that's okay. Let's do not too many sudden movements. Now you're seeing the full layout. I will try to show the whole layout. Is this all I have for wire? No, I have more. Okay. Alright, so now you have audio. Way too loud. So you guys should hear me, but not great. Let's try to bring back. Hello. Ah, there you go. All right. So audio is back. Good. Good. All right. Let's fix the camera view now because it's still bored. Thank you very much, people. I appreciate it. I will fix this camera thing because it went haywire on me, and it it was my fault. I was messing around with stuff while live, so don't blame anyone but me. So, glad to see you both here, Russ and Rebel. Good to see you. This was going great until I tried to display some stuff, and turned out that I could bork everything by just moving it, which I did move earlier and was fine. So I'm not sure how did it go this round. Alright, alright. So the camera's back. I can see that you guys can hear me and you can view the layout. So this is the full layout. For people who weren't there earlier, this is a folded dog bone layout with a 4% grade that does a basically double figure eight, I guess. Well, it's a folded dog bone. It has no operation potential other than one siding, but has quite a long distance of track for such a small 2 by 4 feet layout. I put a lot of effort in this mountain area with Kevin's Crack, I guess, named by other people here, which has more detail than Dave's Crack. Uh, it has a tunnel for the lower level and a crack for the top, which to me adds to the layout, having both a tunnel and a cut inside of your layout. As you can see, I'm running some lit passenger cars. We were adding some details earlier, and one of them that I added was here. I added the full building, the full the car, and the people looking at it. I added this harvester. I added the horses down there and the cows, which are eating and being quite relaxed with the train passing by. We added some cars going through the city right here. We have some cars there, the hot dog stand and the park right there. We added these houses with, while we can't really see it well, there's some lights inside these buildings. You can see these lights here that are just barely lit. They're actually quite bright. It's just with the lighting in my basement makes it dim compared. But if the lights were off, you'd see the buildings being lit inside. We have the bank in the middle with the bank owner having a fancy car and a friend with two friends with fancy cars. So this is the layout now that it's detailed, which was my goal on tonight's stream. Thank you very much, Russ. I know it's the N scale that you don't like, but this is my favorite part of N scale is doing such a uh, well, not highly, but such a detailed and has a lot of a lot of details and a lot of variety of scenes. Like there's a mountain area, there's a city area, there's kind of a farm area, there's a river. There's a bit of everything in a very compact layout. I've brought this layout to shows before, and I will again if I'm invited. I am very proud of it, and I try to keep making it better once in a while. Every time I take it out, I try to better it in some way. Tonight was just re-adding the details that are getting taken off and putting back on every time I move it. But other nights we'll be actually working on it. Wondering how many layouts will have a cracking location file by the end of the year. I mean, so far it's been once a year. Last year it was Corky's crack. This year is Kevin's crack. So let's see what else comes up during either this year or next year. Uh, I see there's a new person here. So sorry, my laptop's pretty far. Chases railway lines railroad. Hello. Well, hi to you. Yes, that is N scale. This is a There's a mix of tracks in there. There's a Bachmann Easy Track, there's Atlas Snap Track, and there's Kato Unit Track. But all in scale, a minimum radius of 9 3/4 inch for the inside curves. Outside curves are 11-inch radius. Those are all Kato cars with lights I added myself, so that's why it's not evenly lit, but actually looks decent, especially in person. Um, this is a very simple folded dog bone layout, which you can see here, and that's what I've been. That was a passion project of mine, and I quite like doing some small layouts like this. A big layout is sometimes overwhelming, and I know there's always the method of focusing on one area at a time, but still, if you want trains running and everything at once, it's hard to focus on an area. A small layout helps with that. There's always the module approach that fits both, but it's nice to start somewhere. So this was my start, and I'm quite happy with it. Like I said, the 4% grade at the back there can be hard on the engine sometimes. That's why I run shorter trains. But on such a small layout, long trains would not fit anyways. The looks of everything. So this would be my my proudest work and my most finished project at the moment, being that it's like 90% there. The other ones are too much in progress to even count as close to finish. So I will be putting the camera down, bringing back all the other cameras up, and then moving this one back to where it was. But unless I put this one somewhere here to look at everything, since we have one camera. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do that. I'll put this one down and go grab the stands, which are just pieces of wood, to try to make this work. So, all right, I'll just put it down right here, and then bring the other cameras up. All right, so just a sec. Let's hope I don't mess up everything again, because that's always a possibility. I'll go grab what I use for sand and see what happens. All right, so if I put this down like this has a lot of angle. This actually looks quite nice. Yep, I'm keeping this here. All right. So as you guys can see, for the rest of the session, because technically I want it to be done um, at 9, but this is actually going quite well, and I like to see that there's a few people here. We will um, we will actually run some trains. Hey, Corky, nice to see you here. You just missed the camera going around to show the details. We've added a lot of details to this layout. This is my tiny 2x4 layout that I've been talking to you about. I'm quite happy about it. We added cars, we added some figures of people, we added some cows and some horses, we added the buildings, we added the lights, and finally put some batteries in them, so it's nice that these are on. Um, I will go grab more trains and run them. First off, I'll add the two grain cars that will, well, the two covered hoppers to fit the looks of, not the looks, but fit that would make sense to go at the grain elevator. So I'll be right back. The only unfortunate news that I have is I don't know if Dave is still here, but he oh god damn it, he loves to see my BC rail stuff go around. I don't have the engine for a little while. I had to send it to Rapido for some warranty work. Let's hope it comes back in one piece. So yeah, I don't have it. It's been sent, so I will not be running um, any any BC rail tonight. I know I could technically run the caboose behind something else, but to me, it's a pair that goes together, so I don't want to lose that magic. So do we see at all the cars? We kind of see in one corner, but that's fine. I could move this camera actually to see more. That's actually quite a nice display of speed. All right, so I'll pick up the mess I just made, and I'll be right back. That's gonna be all right. So I picked up most of what fell, but I did not put them back in the drawer that it belonged to. So we will do that on camera, unfortunately. Um, I had this drawer so that I didn't have to drop these things, and turns out that's exactly what I did. So this is for we have a drawer for micro trains and or uh, Atlas knuckle coupler, and a drawer for the Rapido style coupler, other equipment, and it all fell and mixed together, so I need to clean that up. Knuckle. That is part of a knuckle coupler, that is Rapido coupler, part of a knuckle coupler. Yep, spacer for knuckle, knuckle, wheel, knuckle train wheel, knuckle train wheel, knuckle train wheel. Oh, fancy metal wheel. I didn't know I had you. Oh, interesting. Screw, spacers, spacer, train parts, microtrain parts, and spacers and microtrain parts. Alright, it's fixed. It should be fine. Let's hope it doesn't fall again. Alright, so thank you very much. So I forgot why I said Dave. Oh yeah, Dave. The Rapido stuff. Not Rapido. The BC Rail stuff. I know you really like my Rapido BC Rail caboose, which is very similar to this one, but BC Rail. Unfortunately, I am not running it because the engine's gone. Um, for repair, it's going to be back, I hope. Uh, Thank you very much for the compliment. Chase Railway Railroad at Railway Line. I do have other layouts. I don't know if you've looked at the channel yet. If you haven't, I invite you to do so. I have currently in construction a 10 by 10 L-shaped HO scale layout, which the bench work isn't even done, so that's going to be later. And I have another N scale that's bigger layout, bigger than this, also in construction. That one can run trains, but is far from done. But tonight was about this. I do want some G scale to run outside, but that's going to be in the future, not for now. And I'm I'm just having fun, honestly. Uh, the tall structure in front of me. Do you mean this? The like in the camera here? That is not a structure. That is a piece of 2x4 that I use as a stand for my webcam. I needed a stand, and that one worked. All my webcams are currently on pieces of 2x4, so that's that. Yeah, let's turn to see more of the mountains like this, since now I have other cameras pointing at other stuff. So yeah, this is just a this right there is just a 2x4 to fold. Yes. Hello, J3. N scale is tiny. It is. It's 160th of the real scale stuff, but there are some perks to it. It's complicated to work on, but it fits so much more in a small space. Like this layout being a 2x4, redoing the same layout in HO scale would mean having a full 4x8, which is a very popular setup. A lot of people do it. It's quite nice. But this I can bring everywhere. I can move around. I can have it displayed in about everywhere. So this is very practical. And trains, while they're not as detailed, being so much smaller, don't look any less good, honestly. That is not a bad idea. Glue some old Monopoly hotels to end scale trade. Stuff trained them great with Rust Brown. That actually makes a lot of sense. Rust, not Rust. What am I saying? Um, my my screen just locked in front of me again. Um, Rebel, that is quite smart. Never thought of this. I don't think I have any Monopoly game here, but if I find one, I could always use that. Um, so yeah, that's the layout. I hope you guys enjoy the stream so far. Um, Another perk of N scale is those motors are so power efficient, but the power supplies don't seem to heat up at all while using them. Uh, so there's that. Let's have. I've been talking about adding another train, but I haven't yet. We could run the CP rail that was on it in the first place, or I could go grab more. I just don't know what you guys want to see. I I have a CM SD40-2 engine that ran pushing my rotary snowplow. I don't have to push that. I could pull some cars with it. I have this. I want to change this one to something else. I have my ES44 AC right there that I could run again. I have a few more engines, but my four axles tend to not do so great at pulling up a hill. This one's a little different because it's bigger and heavier. But yeah, four axles don't pull as well, and six axle hang over and have a hard time. Like my SD90 Mac does the curve, but there's not a lot of cars that can handle the swing on these side curves. So if you guys have any suggestions to put on the layout to run, my Rapido engines don't like these tight curves, so that's not happening. But no, if you guys have any suggestion on what to run, I'm open to. I want to run something else, but I wanna keep the stream going. So let me know what you guys want to see on the track. Also, sorry if there's no music. I was focused on setting up the layout and the new camera, and I forgot to put the music, and it would be weird to add it now. Can you run the CN-8 with passenger cars? I could. Um, it would be those passenger cars because these are the only one that support this curve. But I could definitely grab my. No, I am thinking the wrong thing. The Dash 8 is a Rapido and it doesn't do those tight curves. The I could run the Joe's favorite, which is a Jevo with passenger cars, but unfortunately the Dash 8 will not take those curves. That's one of the Rapidos that just doesn't like these tight curves. I'll go grab the some more engines to see what I can run. And I do have a CN passenger car, a single one. Let's see. So I don't think the All right, I'm back with some stuff. Sure, we can run the Devo for Joe. All right, let's do that. I have picked up the single CN passenger car that I have that has truck-mounted couplers. I don't know if it will take the curve. It if it does, great. I'll add it to the train if it can pull it. If it doesn't, we're not gonna fuss or fight it. I don't think it will, honestly. I'll try it, but I don't think it will. Let's see right here because I know there's a train coming. Uh, maybe. Feels like it's rubbing, but at the same time it does occur. You sound like a charity. It's nothing's being given away now. Uh, what I could do though is once I get to now you're giving me a great idea, Jim. When I do get monetization enabled, the first stream I will do will be a charity stream. That and all the money from my first stream monetized, which is not for a while. I'll need a lot more. Um, will be going to a charity. That is an actually great idea, Joe. Not Joe, Jim. Uh, it will not be the charity called Givos for Joe. That that it won't be, but uh, I I could definitely do that. And please, guys, uh, hold me up to my own words. I will. I not. I will, but I may forget. 1877 Givos for Joe. Uh, I may forget that I said this. If I do somehow forget, uh, hold me accountable and remind me, and I will do it. So the first monetized stream when YouTube monetizes me, I will do a charity event, and it will be for uh probably the SPCA. They've derailment. Don't tell me that the CN Gvo can't take the curve, but the CP Gvo can, because that would make zero sense. And I know it's not. Why is it not going on the rails properly? Is there something? This engine has been so reliable; it has no reason not to run properly. Also, this is not a nonsense stream, but almost, because Amtrak being pulled by CN with an old CN passenger car at the end is nothing. I don't think this ever happened uh, before, and I don't think it ever will. It would be cool to see, but I don't expect it to happen. So let's see. Will it derail again, or will it hold? Because this is 11-inch radius on that spot, so that's not even a reason to derail. And it's slipping with a 6 car, but it will it climb? And it did it. There you go. It's probably going to get worse and worse because it's going to polish the rails, but at least let's do 1 or 2 lap and then remove the last car. I just want to see it around. All right. So so far so good for the last car. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it actually would be fine to pull that car around, but unfortunately, 6 car is too heavy for the engine up at 4% incline because again those are passenger cars and those are quite heavy. Let's see if it goes a little faster, if it can gain some momentum for the climb. And it did gain some momentum, but it lost a lot of it at the last straight. GOs for okay, just so everyone knows, while this is hilarious what Jim has been putting, this is not a real charity. Do not look up for that website. Do not donate for Joe. He's a great guy. I'm not saying anything against Joe, but there's no charity for Joe. Okay, do not donate to that. Um, so I will be taking off the last card. Not that I don't like it. That must have been an actually really good rail fanning experience in front of the camera, of course. I wish I could see these things. Uh, the GT Heritage, the Grand Trunk Heritage unit is quite a nice engine in itself. Plus the fact that it was delivering the new VIA stuff, it must have been really nice. No, don't donate to any PayPal account. This is not a charity stream yet. Like I said, when I do get my first monetization, my first round of monetization from YouTube, I will do a real charity stream for most likely the SPCA. But for now, there is no charity streams, nothing going on. So do not donate to Jim, Joe, or Corky. Uh, I'm gonna have to mute you guys. You're gonna lose your moderator privileges if we keep going like this. You will return into Dave's basement. Uh, treating you right by giving you food. Treating you right by giving you food was a mistake. Apparently, I will send you back to Dave's dungeon and not let you have your not let you have any more food. That is, and do not touch his pet ants. All right, so that that's actually quite nice. It's still a weird sight to see, uh, having a Amtrak passenger train pulled by a CN engine, but it's always nice. Joe, Jim deleting his own message to rearrange this. Yeah, I'm seeing this, Dave. I will not do that mistake again. They will return to the they will return to the dungeon without food. All right, so let's. Hello, the Great Railroad Production. Happy to see you here. Um, I don't know what you know about the layout or the channel. I will introduce myself, and if you already know this stuff, I'm sorry for repeating myself. My name is obviously Kevin. I have multiple layouts, an HO scale layout and two N scales, one bigger and one smaller. This is the small one. This is a 2x4. We've been working on this tonight, and I worked on this last year, but I've been working on this tonight, adding little details like cars, buildings, and stuff like that. We've been running trains, and nice to meet you, Jacob. Um, I will let you choose the next train running. Um, we, I have a few engines that can run on this layout, and quite a few freight cars, but I don't have them all out. I'm limited because of the 4% grade, but of course you're free to choose. So I have. We can keep the current engine if you want, which is a Gevo ES44 AC from CN. I have the same engine but Canadian Pacific. I will be showing here. I have that hasn't ran yet. This little switcher, I think it will pull up the hill. I have an Amtrak engine that I put here to pull those cars. We could keep those cars and put back the Amtrak engine. I have an SD40-2 CN engine, and I do have more stuff outside the layout. I do have a small steamer I could run as well, a 260, no, 262, yeah, a 262 from that's also CN, but that cannot pull a lot. So just keep in mind that the freight behind will only be two or three cars. Same with that switcher, two or three freight cars top. So I will let you choose what you want to see running next. So let me know what you want to see. Also, so far, by the way, I'm glad the stream's going great. The image quality seems pretty good. I think it's been pretty steady. From my dashboard here, it says that Amtrak P42 will do. As soon as the engine's back, I'll be putting the Amtrak engine back. Um, the connection's been excellent. Laptop's been so far so good, other than the mishap with the camera, but that was partially my fault. And all right, so this is off. And I mean, the image quality, the new webcam is doing a great job, so I'm happy with that. And the internet connection's been pretty steady. All right, so please get on the track. There you go. Let's put back the P42. All right, so let's see if there are any other requests. So this will run for a few laps. You need a Scottish accent. No, my French accent, my French Canadian accent is quite enough of an accent for myself. I don't need an extra accent, and I'm not good at making English accents. I can do a lot of French accents, but not English, and I will not speak French here. You like that's quite nice, actually. I like the looks of P42s. I've never ridden a train pulled by it. I saw plenty of them when I rode the Ocean in DRL, but never been pulled by one. I do have a VRL P42 in HO, which is DCC and sound. I'm really enjoying it. If you look at my shorts or other live streams, I did run it before. My latest short was of that engine pulling my 4 VRL cars. Totally unrealistic concept, honestly, but there are VRL cars I do love, and that engine is gorgeous. So I will be using them that way because I like it that way. Um, so yeah, after this train has done a few more laps, we will switch it for some freight. Sorry to take it off so quick, but just I like to do some changes and see you know get a lot more out of my trains and get a lot of this layout. While it's a small little layout and doesn't and only has uh, a few scenic opportunity. It does look nice, and it's nice to see a mix of stuff. I'll go grab the steam engine. Uh, you don't look at my shorts, not those shorts, the short videos that YouTube has. I'll go grab the steam engine, and we might run that afterwards. Oh, nice. So I do have my tilt scale locomotives in my videos. That's nice. I'll need to go look at them afterwards. What are your favorites? Just to put in to have a conversation. I'm curious. What are your favorite engines? So also, this is the small Prairie 262. I will be putting on after that or the switcher. It's going to be you guys' choice. So, what cars could either pull? Do you guys like this angle of the bottom angle? Bottom of me, not bottom of like bottom of the screen, not bottom where I am. I could move that Mexico camera again if you want a different angle. I just wanted to see the city, and I did like the way you see the train go around back there. But there's multiple like scenic spot in this layout that I could display with the this better camera. Also, I'm not a big fan of the wide gap between the cars and on the outside of the loop. Favorite locomotive? That must be gorgeous. Have the motor swap for a 5 spool and mount the motor inside. Runs really good. That must be an amazing engine. Glad to hear Rebel. My favorite engine is by that sounds like two great engines, actually. Great railroad production. I'd love to see a Southern Pacific 449 and uh, that Broadway Limited from Broadway Limited and your Polar Express locomotive with TCS Wow Sound must be amazing. I am in black. What's happening now? What am I doing wrong? Oh boy. Uh, you are in black and white camera. Oh yeah, well this actual camera is not black and white. Just the settings are off because that's the webcam. That's the webcam from the laptop. That's the unfortunate thing. I do like 284 Berkshires. I haven't seen much of them. It pulls up to yeah, that I mean, with the size it has, Rebel, your engine, I do not doubt it. I'm sure even on a grade it can pull and quite a good load, especially if it's a 2% grade, because so many wheels for traction and so much weight out of that body really has a lot of grip. If it has traction power, it must be amazing. But even without it, I do not doubt that it would pull good. Um, so, all right. So we will run the next train. I will ask you guys to choose between the steam engine Prairie 262 or the switcher. Both I will be showing them here actually. Very easier here. Either this little switcher or the Prairie 262. Which one do you guys want to see run? I'm gonna run a few few pieces of freight behind it, it would not be able. Either one would not be able to hold that passenger train up the hill. But so steam engine, switcher. Oh, now do I put a favorite on someone who isn't into N scale or someone who likes to create fake charities? Fight, fight. Instead of a fight, let's have another person weigh in, since it's 1-1, and I don't want to play favorites, even though one of them is a moderator and the other one is actually a guest. Is there any other person who has a preference between Steam and Switcher? In the meantime, while I get an answer, you can't vote twice, Russ, and act as if it's two people. I'll be. All right, Kevin's putting the last vote. It'll be the Steam engine. 3 times from the same person is just one vote, Russ. That's how my democracy works. All right, so let's see the Steam. I will have so many pieces of rolling stock to pick up afterwards. It'll probably done tomorrow. Dave, I feel your pain whenever you take everything out for the stream and then you're like, oh man, so much to pick up. Since I have. Ooh, I didn't get to vote. Well, you had time to vote, Corgi. You just didn't. So that's what happens. You snooze, you lose. All right, so let's have it do a few laps. It hasn't been ran in a while by itself. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any LEDs. It would be quite complicated to add. Um, Not that I don't want to, I just didn't take the time to. Or know how, actually. But, yeah, this, while it doesn't have any lights, it would be nice to add lights to it. This is a Bachman, actually. It's supposed to be a cheaper one, but it was light new for cheap, and I was very happy. Jeevo for Corky. Yeah, Jeevos are definitely Corky's favorite, right? Doesn't sound as much as like a charity if it's for Corky instead of for Joe. So, all right. So the caboose is mandatory, and let's have. We could put some unrealistic loads behind it, like a tank car, which should have box cars for buffers, but it won't because I only have so much pulling power. And a let's put the gondola. Let's put which I don't think 50-foot gondolas were much of a thing back when this steamer was running, but let's overlook that and just enjoy this little train. Let's see how it handles the 4% grade. Off to a rough start. It'll, I believe in you, little steamer. Well, it does it. Nice. All right. So this little steamer, it lost its caboose, and that has nothing to do with the incline. That has, I actually don't know why. I'll turn the car around. Sometimes the couplers are finicky, so let's turn it around just in case that could solve the issue or make it worse. Either or. Either or. Let's put this back on the track. All right, so this is latched. This is latched. Should be good now. Let's go. Going down the hill is not going to be an issue because that's the easiest part. And that's really the only unfortunate part is the fact that it doesn't have a headlight. I do have a different Steam that does have a headlight, but it doesn't look so great. Not sorry, it actually looks amazing. That's not what I mean. It's just not the greatest at for pulling traction. This one actually pulls better than the other one. My steamers are more. Well, I put them as excursion trains, and I think that fits them very well, as in they're more for the enjoyment of running a steam engine than they are for actual work, like actual switching or actual uh, long term running or whatever. But that's what was in, why is it not running properly anymore? Give it a bit more power so it has a bit more momentum. And the tender is derailed. No, that's a new one. That's definitely going to be an issue. All right. All right, let's try again. I know what I could do though is go grab my Western Maryland piggyback car, which is looking more like an oldie. Well, while it's not super old, looks like something that would have ran with this engine. Yeah, I'll go grab the Western Maryland car and swap one of the two freight for that. If it's not too heavy. I'll be right back. Well, it stopped. I don't know why. Where did it stop? Up there. Did it derail or did it just stop? It just stopped. Alright. Alright, so I have my Western Maryland car. It's funny how it was just a little too late. Plus, let's face it, the switcher is going to be next in line to run if I keep the stream going long enough. So I don't think you'll miss the switcher that much. Let's just put everything back on track. And let's take out this little neat car. Alright, so and yes, I do have the piggyback trailer to go on. Let's just not lose anything and put them back together. This and where. I do think there would be a better angle for this. I'm going to move that camera again. Oh, this could be nice. Of course, its own stand is in its way. This is quite nice, actually. We can see the city well. We can see more track. Yeah, I'm leaving it this way. So, I was about to say it seems to run better with that car behind, but I'm not sure if it is. That stutter is because of the bridge going straight, going flat from the the track going uphill. There, it's not a smooth transition. That's bad track work from my part. Nothing else. Um, but doesn't seem to be struggling too hard pulling that car around. All right. So when I switch to the switcher, we will go from no light to too much cab light. I added an LED in it in mine to have the cab light up, and it's super bright, and I'm not mad about it, and I'm keeping it that way. So once this has done a few more laps, we will be going to the switcher, which has too many lights. So let's just ensure that everything is going properly. So switcher going great. I thought the lighting was better when I moved the camera. Why is it so stuck? Can I adjust the lighting manually? The brightness manually on that camera. I should be able to, but I'm not sure if I actually can. I could try to switch the color type. Nope. Hmm, the image crashed. Okay, let's not do that. If I do this, I lose the 1080p option. Even change 1080p like this. Okay. And why did you stop there? There we go. Oh, you're starting to run a little rough. I might take you off. Oh, you're off the rail. That's why. And you're back. I'm working on local lights, so lots of yeah. I can see that. Well, by see I mean I can understand that. I've done a few, and that's a lot of that. Uh, That's probably why those are better in regular videos that you edit, simply because you can skip the part where you hold the light for a minute, not moving. Um, so let's put the switcher on because some people requested it and were unhappy that they didn't get it. What's happening? Well, a lot of things. I am trying to fix the lighting on my main camera that looks better. I'm also switching my engine because my little steamer was being a little bit finicky, and I'm removing the piggyback simply because I want to put a different car behind. Let's put two tankers because it's going to do a fuel delivery somewhere. There you go. Should be light enough. And before anyone says that it's not realistic because because it needs buffer cars. I know it does, but unfortunately, I this this engine does not have the power to pull even more cars by adding buffer cars, so it'll just run as is. Uh, and yes, NCL steamers are very temperamental. This one's actually a good runner, but unfortunately, it's no matter how good it is, it's still not perfect, being that it is an NCL steamer. And yes, Dave, yes, it does. So the switcher is, oh boy, I think it's an Athearn. The steamer is a Botman, but the rest was Kato. Um, this little steamer is right there, is a Botman Prairie. I, is it? I'm not sure. I don't have the box for the switcher. It's either an Athearn or a Walters. I can't remember which one made this. This was a batch, and I found it at a hobby store that had it on display for years, and and didn't want to sell it in the first place. But their display was in shambles, and I was like, I'll buy it for new, which was actually a good deal because the price had gone up, and I got it for new without tax, and it's been running great. I added the LED in it, and I've been very happy with it. So I'm big fan of lights, as you guys can see by everything I've added. I'm curious to go turn off the temperamental button. This is funny story. My first engine ever was also a Botman steamer, which has the case of the cracked gears. It was an HO scale one, but I'm keeping it because it was my first. But it's in a box somewhere. Well, not in a box. It's on display in my collection, but it's not a runner, and I don't know if I'll ever fix it. Yes, if you're talking about the one you had in your video, Dave, it did look amazing. I'm wondering. I know you're losing the weight, which is a pretty substantial weight. Have you noticed any traction issue pulling many cars since you removed it, or is it pretty much the same on traction in terms of traction? I know your layout is pretty flat, but I'm curious. That switcher's been going great. No, I found a perfector. Oh, that's even nicer. That's great, actually. The other one was doing quite well. So if this one's even better, I'm thoroughly impressed. I hope you post in a video or at least in your stream tomorrow. Which so far I should be there. I don't think I have anything that's taking me busy. That's fair enough. Um, I don't know for my F7 AB set if I will do. I will do a decoder. That's going to be probably my first one. I turn to DCC when I do start doing it. But I don't know if I'll be removing the weight because my F7 AB set is there to pull decent sized freight, and I will have an incline on one of the loop, which was going to be on, so I might need the weight in it. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes, but so far that's the plan. Let's see now if I can adjust the brightness. I was messing around with the camera earlier. That's not what I wanted. Brightness. Can I bring it up slightly without messing everything? Come on, click on it. The colors aren't too light. Is there an aperture button somewhere? Because that's what I want to bring up, the aperture. Because I want the colors to be correct as well. Orange, no, try right now. Saturation, blue, auto exposure. No, I don't see any option for this. Oh, whatever. At least it's bright enough uh, to see. the layout. Why is my light not working in the switcher anymore? It's barely working. What the hell? You guys saw it. It was working fine earlier. Making the video tonight. Great. Good. That's actually great. So the light's not dead. The connection's bad. All right. Good to know. Not happy about it. I will be probably returning to a Kato engine for the rest of the stream, which, wow, it's already 11. Nice. A 3-hour stream. Not mad. Not mad. All right. So let's start wrapping things up. Not I don't not enjoying this, but I do have work in the morning, so I'm not going to stop right away. But I will be switching to another train. I'll bring back the SD40-2, which I really like. Where did I put it? I know it's somewhere up there. And I'll put some freight behind it, more than this, because it can actually pull more freight. And see where the night leads. Alright, so let's stop this. This will get the buffer cars because it can actually do it. Probably just not tonight. I appreciate. I will need your help. Actually, yes, Dave. Just unfortunately not tonight, as I'm trying to wrap. Not I'm trying to wrap it up, but I'm going to wrap it up soon. Um, I will need your help with the settings. Yes. I don't know if you have this specific camera, Dave, but if you do, I'd love to hear about it. It's the Nexigo N660p that I bought. Where's the box? I had it not long ago. Maybe I left it on my desk. It's a Nexigo cam. It's been working great, other than the camera setting that are slightly off. Oh yeah, we will do that. Not tonight, but we will definitely do it, Dave. Thank you very much for the help. And just to just to put it out there, thank you for letting me put my stuff on your group and on your Discord. I know it's technically doing promotion for a channel that's not yours. I just wanted to know you to know that I really appreciate it. So, all right, so let's put more cars behind this stream because it needs more. Well, it needs more. As simple as that. So I'll start and let it run, and while it runs, I will go grab some cars. I'll be right back. I'm doing such a mess. Well, I have brought 5 boxcars. I don't think it'll be able to pull all of them with the tank cars, but let's see. Yeah, I actually turned it off, and it seems to be worse. So, uh, I turned off the auto aperture, auto exposure, but I don't think I have the right setting. So I will definitely need your help, Dave. Thank you very much. Um, I will contact you later this week. Tomorrow is your stream, so you are busy, and well, tonight it's getting late for me. So we will see this week with our schedule. I should be free on Wednesday if you are, but send me a message on Facebook and we'll arrange that. I'm glad the Kado's behaving, which is not surprising. It's a Kado after all. Love this little engine. For a conspiracy against us. Not against you, against YouTube. Let's put it that way. If you wanna go conspiracy side, let's put it against YouTube, because why not? It would be funny to have a conspiracy against YouTube. Not that we would do anything successful, because after all, it's just little me. But the idea is funny. All right, so just give me a minute so I can put some cars on the track. All right, one down. Let's see how many I can actually add before the train has an issue with the hill. And see, well, actually, you don't see it, but you'll see it soon. There are buffer cars now. Well, there's one in the back so that the um, crew in the caboose don't get hit with anything. And there will be more cars in front of, well, between the engine and the. Come on, couple, you can do this. You've been, you've been. What the hell? Why aren't you latching? You guys are literally the same brand, same type of comfort. There you go. You're latched. All right. So this one's quite nice. This little car is not a CP rail, even though it's a Pac-Man logo. It's a Quebec Central car, a patch job. I found this at a model railway show last fall, and I was quite pleased with it. Those are not common. And let's start with this, and if it handles it well, we might add some more. So far, oh, it's starting to struggle. The struggle train is real. I'm missing it. Yeah, I guess he wants to go private with me, Jim. Something. Sometimes there are some perks. Sometimes it's dangerous. Let's see what side it goes. All right. So it seems to be pulling this just fine. Let's not jinx it, but if it goes, it goes. That's the way she blows. It's not going fast, but it's not because it's struggling and was going downhill. It's just on a slower power level. Oh, that was so abrupt. So that's one thing. If I redid the full layout, that back straight, instead of being 4% grade up until the bridge and the bridge would be flat, I would actually lower the percentage of the grade on the back straight and have the bridge part of the climb. Not that there's anything wrong with the way it's set up. It's just it would be easier for the train to pull uphill. Oh boy, Jim, you should record him singing that song and just have it on repeat somewhere. It would definitely be worth keeping. And put that in the quote section. So, stream. I don't want to shut the stream down now because doing so well. We're at 13 viewers and we're um, concurrent viewer, and it's actually going well. But at the same time, I can't keep going for 24 hours, unfortunately. Um, this engine just looks and works great. I I don't know if it would right now. We are having fun. I know that's not the issue. That's not why I want to stop the stream. It's for it's for Kevin, future Kevin, that I'm trying to be smart. Not for me. You you only live once. Yeah, that's. It was, yes, last weekend. She she's done a full rotation, not rotation, but a full lap around the sun. Another one. She she's now old enough to stay up this late, Jim. Before you say anything, and also before you say anything, she's an adult who lives with me. Just the jokes have been funny, but I'm always worried with the internet. She's an adult, and at one point I can bring her on stream if she wants to. No, I did not take her to Chuck E. Cheese. I took her to a glamping spot. It was nice. So, ah, yes, he did. Stop with that. Of course, the one time she comes in is to make me look bad. Of course. I'm gonna start worrying now. So let's do something fun for the layout. Not. Let's do a double header. Let's steer away from Jim's ideas and conversation, and let's talk about. Let's do a double header. I've done double headers of these two engines before, the ES44 AC and SD40, and that way we can add even more cars behind it. Because double headers just pull very well. Let's change the order a bit. Let's put this one behind it. And this one, I'll try. There you go. This one latch, no problem. That's good. Put this one after. And let's move a bit forward. Let's put this one that way. And let's add one more car at the end, which will be the gondola from earlier. Because why not? There you go. All right. A beautiful little double header for the last train of the night. Do I dare to add a third tanker car? Why not? It's the last train of the night. Let's see what happens. What's the worst? It slips up the hill? Shall I dare? Let's try it. Alright. That's going to be easier because I uncoupled some cars. This and so these tank cars are actually pretty heavy, so they may actually be difficult to pull uphill. But it's a double header of 6-axle after all. Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. There's some small things that I enjoy about model railroading, like in the details. It's gonna sound stupid, but if you look at the building there, you can see the shadow of the train because there's only one light, well, actually two light sources, but this is one specifically. And you can see, I don't know how well it shows on camera, but you can actually see the shape of the car on the building. I'm gonna wait till it comes back to show you guys. But look at the side of the building here. You will see the shadow of the train. And now, so what time is it? It's 11:15 in my time zone. Uh, let's go for a few more minutes and then end the stream. I quite enjoy seeing. Whoop whoop whoop! There was a separation going on. The I'm gonna have to go and go back and grab the SD40 because of course it's gonna go faster going down the hill because it's heavier. I agree with you, Dave. I actually do really enjoy that as well. That's why earlier my Amtrak equipment has lights in it that are very bright. Sorry, sorry about that. So yeah, my Amtrak equipment has very bright lights. It when the scenery is done properly, it really glows everywhere, just like when it goes through my crack. The light really shine on each side. When it goes through the city in the middle, it shines either on the river or on the horses, actually, or the track. It it's hard to capture on camera, but in person, when you turn off the lights, you can actually see very well the scenery being lit by the cars while everything else is dark, which is very nice and very fun. That's usually the reason why I light stuff up, like the buildings and train cars, because I like to turn off my lights and just enjoy the scenery. But unfortunately, since we're streaming, going dark would not work properly. So now that you guys said hi to my girlfriend, it's nice to talk. Nice that you guys finally hear about her. If she wants, oh, something derailed. I was about to offer her if she wants to, she can come downstairs and come say hi to the stream, but she doesn't have to. It's up to her. This truck is completely off the track. There you go. Oh, I'm hearing some noises. Let's say happy birthday to my gorgeous girlfriend, which is right here.
Hey guys.
She's in black and white. If she wants to be in color, she has to go the other side.
Wait, what?
I don't know. The camera just went black and white for whatever reason.
That's fine. Makes me look older.
A whole. Do you want to see your age?
I'm not 13.
He never said 13. I don't know why you're saying that.
27.
27. But yeah, so
Bye.
before she puts more feet in her mouth. She's been a huge supporter of mine for not only the channel but my model trains hobby since the beginning we started dating. I did tell her that the trains were here before her, so I was not going to stop the hobby for someone. But that's besides that joke, which wasn't really a joke. One of the greatest thing about her is her continuous support of my hobby and my reckless spending on trains. She knows how happy it makes me, and she much prefers a guy who does this than does stupid things. So no, it's been a really good relationship. We have a house together, so what more can I ask for, right? Um, we're we're very happy. So and yeah, it was her birthday, so happy birthday again, and I hope she keeps being happy with me, or that she at least stands my ass for a few more years. So yeah, so it's 11:20. Russ said it was 7 where he is. Yeah, uh, a few hours differences with time zones, but Eastern Canada, well, Atlantic Canada, we're going to bed early and waking up early according to the rest of the world, but I'm not one of those persons. All right. So I'm gonna end this in 10 minutes. If there's any special request for a train or an explanation or just a discussion, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're gonna be a calmer last 10 minutes of just watching this train run. I do enjoy this double header, and this is about the maximum length of a train I would run on this layout. So it's it's long enough to be a good sized train, especially on that small of a layout, but not too long that it chases its tail or it sees itself. Right when it goes under the bridge, the upper train is when's the wedding? When the house has been paying? I don't know. I'm not answering that question right now. I don't have an answer for that question. Uh, that is putting me on the spot right now. Uh, when you're paying, Jim, I'll put it that way. When you decide to pay, Jim. But yeah, this is the train doesn't see its caboose at the loop back, and it doesn't go over itself at the bridge. So I think that would be the best, but the maximum length to run on this layout if anyone else would be making a similar layout to mine. You don't want a wedding ring from Santa Claus? I mean, yes, I would. Oh, it derailed again. Doesn't seem to like the overhang, and that happened. All right. Have a good one, Model Railroad Show. It was nice having you here. We're gonna go soon anyway, so that's good timing. And it was really fun having you guys here. Well, having you specifically right now, but talking the whole stream for. All right, something's off the track still. I'm gonna fix it when it gets close to me. Uh, why are you misbehaving? You're a very reliable engine usually. You're still off the track. I can hear it. Yep. You only have one of the three wheels in your truck that's on the track. There you go. That looks about right. There you go. Pulls much better when all the wheels are on the track. Oh, the bottom camera is frozen. What? Why? The sound seems to go through, but the image is frozen. Why did it freeze? The train's going, but not at the bottom. There you go. Get back. I don't know for how long it's been frozen, but are you in the U.S. there? No, I'm in Canada, Atlantic Canada, to be more precise, which is why it's the 11/24 here, and also why I'm modeling so many Canadian railroads. The Amtrak train was just because I wanted one, but I'm mostly Canadian. I'm doing mostly Canadian stuff. So, since there's about 5 minutes left, I'm gonna do. We're still gonna finish at 11:30, but well, for me, 10:30, 9:30, 7:30, whatever time zone you're in. Um, I'm gonna say thank you guys and gals all for coming. It was very nice. I will try to keep doing. So far, I've been able to do Mondays every weekend. I've tried to keep going at it. I will try to continue improving the streams with either new equipment, better settings. I'm gonna get Dave to help me later. Not later today, but later this week. Um, the next stream will probably be on my HO scale stuff. I've been doing some progress that I have not filmed because I'm a horrible YouTuber, and so I will do a stream on the HO scale stuff. There's some track work that's been done. The slot car has not changed, but we will be running some slot cars because it's always fun to do. And again, this is going to be uh, I'm gonna keep going with the every Monday mainline Monday live stream, and I am quite enjoying having you guys here. And I'm gonna wish you all a great week, and see you next week or on other people's streams like Dave. Have a good one. Let's enjoy the train.